hopefully a much better year in 2024.
Your polls would indicate that you're not heading for a better year. 7 out of 10 Canadians want you to step down. There was a recent poll saying that Chrystia Freeland and Mark Carney were both more popular choices than you to lead the Liberal Party. Why do you think Canadians are so frustrated with you?
Well, I think, first of all, it's a really frustrating time.
Justin Trudeau could be poised for the worst defeat in the history of the Liberal Party as the Prime Minister faces growing calls from his own caucus to resign.
The Prime Minister cannot remain in that position. Will he resign?
We saw that, the Atlantic Caucus, the Quebec Caucus, and the Ontario Caucus have all come to a consensus that he should step down.
I know he happened, Mr. Speaker. How can we make him unhappen and stop the crime?
In terms of modern times, in terms of, say, the last generation, things are as bad as they could be.
In the name of God, will he go to Rideau Hall, call an election, and end the chaos?
We are following breaking news from Ottawa, where Finance Minister and Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland has announced she has resigned.
The Finance Minister resigned the day she was to present the fall budget, which was going to contain a massive deficit overrun.
Trudeau's personal popularity is at its lowest since he took office, just 22%. Almost half of Canadians polled say they want him to resign.
Won't the Prime Minister have the courage to come in here, present it himself, and put it for a confidence vote tonight?
Everyone's got peer pressure at this age. I mean, there's pressure to smoke, there's pressure to do all sorts of stuff. And I've never been affected by peer pressure. Never.
People were swooning over, they were fainting over, they were falling over themselves at the beginning of his mandate and his tenure. That is long gone.
The Prime Minister must leave this job.
And I will always be motivated by what is in the best interest of Canadians.
Mr. Prime Minister. Please get the out of BC.
Have a wonderful day, ma'am.
Yeah, you suck.
I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister.
Justin Trudeau has announced he's stepping down as the Prime Minister of Canada and as the leader of his party.
So I think Canada is going to be a very serious contender to be our 51st state.
I have been talking with Mark Carney for years now about getting him to join federal politics.
Mr. Carney. Mark Carney.
Mark Carney.
Truth be told, the government has been not as focused on those issues as it could be.
Their only objection is that he is no longer popular enough to win an election and keep them in power.
We need to focus on them immediately. That can happen now.
I think in this case, the Liberals would benefit from having someone who has less of a connection to the Trudeau government. I think that when you see just how unpopular the Liberal government has been.
The candidate wasn't part of the government. Let's say the candidate did have a lot of economic experience.
That is an asset for him.
Let's say the candidate did deal with crises. Let's say the candidate had a plan to deal with the challenges in the here and now.
You sneaky, you're running as an outsider.
On an outsider.
Carney referred to himself in the segment as an outsider in Canada's political realm.
I am an outsider. To declare my candidacy for leader of the Liberal Party and Prime Minister of Canada.
The race to replace Justin Trudeau is now over. The final result, not even close.
By sweeping their hated leader under the rug months before an election to trick you and then do it all over again.
In first place, the next Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, with 131,674 votes.
Mark Carney is poised to become Canada's next Prime Minister.
Would be a whole new plateau in his leap from the world of finance to the world of politics.
And it's a solemn duty to serve as Prime Minister at this time of great consequence for our country.
It's on. A federal election campaign now officially underway.
I've just requested that the Governor General dissolve Parliament and call an election for April 28th.
The Conservatives have been leading in the polls by 20 points, 25 points now for a long time. But we've seen really in the last few weeks that a lot of polls have been showing that the gap between the Liberals and the Conservatives, they're really numbers we haven't seen for several years. We're looking at gaps of between 4 and 3 points.
I know it may be difficult, Mr. Poilievre. You spent years running against Justin Trudeau on the carbon tax, and they're both gone.
They're all Justin Trudeau. They're all just like Justin.
Look, I'm a very different person from Justin Trudeau.
The Liberals are still at 44% support, and nationally the Conservatives are at 38%, so it's a 6-point gap between the two parties.
Canada, get ready. Our CBC News decision desk is ready to make a call. Canada's next government will be a Liberal government.
I, Mark Carney, do solemnly and sincerely swear that I shall be a true and faithful servant to His Majesty King Charles III.
Who's ready to stand up for Canada with me?
As a member of His Majesty's Privy Council for Canada. But big changes guided by strong Canadian values. I will, in all things, to be treated, debated, and resolved in Privy Council. Humility. It's Canada after all. Ambition. It's Canada after all. And unity. It's Canada. Faithfully, honestly, and truly declare my mind and my opinion. I intend to govern for all Canadians. I shall keep secret all matters committed and revealed to me in this capacity, because we are going to build, baby, build. Generally, in all things I shall do as a faithful and true servant ought to do for His Majesty. We are Canada strong. Vive la Canada! Merci tout le monde. I, Mark Carney, do solemnly and sincerely promise and swear, and if the United States no longer wants to lead, that I will truly and faithfully, and to the best of my skill and knowledge, Canada will, execute the powers and trust reposed in me as Prime Minister.